always a surprise out there.
Yeah.
And you never know when it's going to come in, you know, I mean, because there is something about gay men and boobs. You know what I mean? I mean, there's something about gay men and boobs. I mean, and
That's
sometimes I want to wear them, and
so
sometimes I
true.
want to play them.
Yeah.
But that's maybe
Sometimes you want to do both at the same time.
no.
No? Okay.
No, I think that'd be weird. That would be weird. Have you ever had sex and no?
Yeah, just
No, let's not go there. I was going to segue a minute ago into something else that's been going on with you, and it has totally blocked me off. A lot of people and I have talked about your hair color.
Oh, God.
Well, you knew we were going to have to talk about this.
I didn't know we were going to talk about my hair color.
Even when Daniel saw you getting out of the car across the street, said, wow, her hair's so red. Why?
I just think I get so bored so easily, and I just get so bored so easy, and it was just something I did to, like, there's a couple of people that I saw on television that I really liked their hair. They had that loud red hair. Aubrey O'Day on Celebrity Apprentice and Rachel on Big Brother. Like, those are two people I just love, and I just wanted to try it for a while. And I'll eventually be back blonde, but I'm having fun with it right now. I just get so bored doing the same thing all the time.
Oh my God, I have had the same awful hair for 25 years. And when I think about it, I think, I don't think I have the time or the effort. And because really having this ponytail has just been so easy.
Yeah.
I don't ever get my hair cut, and when this gets too long, I just take scissors and cut it out. I mean, it's so kind of
Yeah.
manly of me,
Yeah.
because it's just so no work.
I'm just like, I get bored so easy with most things. I get bored with men easy. I get bored with my hair color easy. I just, that's really all it is. I just get bored so easy, and I constantly need things to change. And those are easy things to change. Your hair color is easy to change.
Is it hard being a woman?
No, I don't think so.
It's terribly difficult for me.
Is it really?
Yes. I mean, but I have to go in with everything. I mean, I have to put on the nails, I have to
Yeah.
put on the hips, I have to put on the makeup, I have to put on the pounds of makeup, I have to put on the boobs, I have to put on...
See-
I have to wear it all, and it just seems like so much trouble sometimes.
I thought,
Cassie and I talk about that.
yeah, I used to feel the other way, though. I felt it was too hard to be a boy. That's, like, I felt just the opposite. Like, this to me is
And what
easy.
was it that was hard to you? I can't imagine. This is like today. I had to be here this morning at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And when was the last time you've been up before probably noon?
I got up at 9 this morning.
Oh, well, really? And you had a
Yes.
show last night. You must not have gotten rotten.
I didn't. I didn't. I didn't want to be here shaking today.
Well, but, you know, this morning, I mean, I had to be here so early, and I got up at like 8 o'clock, and I got up, I took a shower, I brushed my teeth, I grabbed a power bar, I was in the car at 8:20. And I just know that if I was a girl, I would have had to put on mascara and
Yeah.
eyelashes, and
See, that's what-
I would have had to do, at least brush my hair.
That's the difference, though. Most of the time during the day, like since I work at night, I run my errands with my hair in a ponytail and sweats and no makeup. That's you get kind of past that having to always look glammed out thing, and you start to become more like a.
Yeah, but you're kind of done today. You've got a little bit of, you've got color on your cheeks.
I was leaving my
You've got
immediate area of my home and going into the public. So, I mean, when I'm running to the grocery store and the gym and places like that, I just really don't care. But, you know, I've got to run some places today, so, you know, I didn't want to leave too haggard looking. But, I mean, I still didn't even brush my hair.
And so what was difficult about being a boy?
Everything, like just down to, I didn't like the clothes. I could never find my style wearing boy clothes because nothing ever looked right to me. I couldn't stand any kind of look. I could never stand my hair short. I absolutely could not stand going into public and people still calling me ma'am, and
It happens to me.
Yeah, like-
I mean, but seriously, I mean, I am over 6 feet tall. I'm over 200 pounds. Most of the time, I have some sort of scruff of a
Facial
beard,
guy.
and they'll look right at me and say, "Thank you, ma'am." And I just kind of go, "Was that a dig?"
that was a constant part of my life, like growing up. Like it
Me too.
happened all the time, and
And I got the, "Are you a boy or a girl?"
oh yeah.
I got that all the time.
And I would feel so uncomfortable going into a men's restroom, like just so uncomfortable. I can't tell you how uncomfortable that is. I don't think I could ever use the urinals or anything like that. Like it was just always so uncomfortable. So.
I remember we were just recently talking about, the Sandusky case, and having to go into these public gymnasium bathrooms where there were, 5 showers. So you waited in line for 5 people to take a shower, and then,
Yeah, it's,
I hated that.
I would have an anxiety attack at summer camp in the summer because they would make everybody play basketball and there would be shirts and skins. And if I would get put on the skins team, I would have an anxiety attack about having to take my shirt off in front of everyone. And it's ironic because now I have no problem with it. But like, isn't that weird though that I had such an issue with it like before I had boobs? Like it was just, I don't know. I was so uncomfortable
but the
being a
boobs
boy.
are more natural, and you
Yes,
didn't want
I
to see,
feel-
you didn't want
I didn't
people to
wanna be
see you in an
seen.
unnatural state.
Exactly.
And so
Exactly.
now it's like, look at my boobies.
Yeah.
Why is it that, and I have to say, I really kind of love this when someone who's transgendered becomes post-op, that the first thing they want to do is show. It's like show and tell. I love that. I really do. I really, someone recently was talking to me. I really do love that when transgendered people come and show us
Yes.
their new equipment.
The JJ.
And I really, I have a really great moment with that. I think that's really wonderful. When Jill did that to me,
Oh God.
and brought me into the bathroom to show it to me, she was just so excited. I was excited for her. And we were talking about the bar, and someone was asking me what one of my favorite things to be. What is one of my favorite things about working in the bar, and that is seeing 2 young men in love. I really, really, really love it. I do. I love it. And this past week, I saw these 2 boys right outside the Rose Room. I don't know if it was it you that was like, what are you looking at? Was it you? I think it was you. There were these 2 boys, and they were on the patio, and they were just looking into each other's eyes, and they were kissing and making out, and it took my breath away at how sweet it was. They were obviously together for a while, and a while could be 3 days.
Right.
But they were so into each other, and they were, and really, I love it.
Yeah.
And it was something that, it's something that I really love to see. When you see that, what do you see? Do you identify as heterosexual?
Well, I too think it's beautiful and I love it, but yes, I do. I feel gay being with a girl. Yeah. And I've done it, so more than once. That's when I feel like more like I'm gay. But like,
Do you identify as kind of bi?
no, I really don't think so because I like men. I mean, it's always a little awkward with girls, and it's usually always been when I've drank too much. So I mean, wine especially does that to me.
Oh, wine.
I love powerful women though. Like the girls that I've hooked up with have been like really powerful lesbians, like lawyers, and like they're just very. They were all, they were like more masculine than me. So, but they were pretty.
Well, you're not
but-
masculine at all.
But like I like that masculine, like
Yeah.
yeah. So it wasn't like some little dainty little. You
Yeah.
know,
I wasn't gonna.
Yeah.
I wasn't going there anyway. I don't think anybody that's even listened to this or going to listen to it would think that. Is that awkward?
what?
A lesbian relationship?
I've never had like a relationship. It's just been more like hooking up. So I wouldn't know. Like I did have a relationship with another trans girl years and years and years ago, and it was awkward and it was awful and horrible. I would never do that again.
I would think that would be kind of odd.
Yeah, it was. We were a little competitive with each other all the time, and it was a very odd relationship. We've tried all kinds of different things to make it work, even bringing other boys in, and it was really, really bad. But that was when I was really young and still trying to figure everything out. So I didn't leave very many stones unturned back then. So
What kind of boys, man, do you like?
I'm notoriously attracted to douchebags, actually. Unfortunately, I'm trying to change that about myself. I don't
How do
know
you
to
change
it.
that about yourself?
I don't know how to do it, but I think now, as I get older, like I get out of it quicker when I find myself in the situation with a guy that I know is a douche. Whereas I would stick around a lot longer and try to make it work. Now I catch myself doing it and I walk away.
What constitutes a douche? What would be your first red flag? Or let's talk about the red flags.
First off, guys, they cheat, they play you, they lie, they don't have good jobs. I mean, I don't constitute money is not really an issue with me when it comes to a guy, but I want them to be able to take care of themselves and at least have some kind of work ethic and want to do things in their life. And I tend to often like guys that don't have that, and they don't work or either have really crappy jobs and don't have any money, have a ton of debt. Like it's really awful what I'm attracted to. And then I let them talk to me all kind of crazy and then forgive them the next day. And yeah, guys are and it's amazing that I think guys like that get as many girls as they do. They really do. It's like crazy. Like you see girls always flocking to guys like that, the bad boys. I don't get it.
I do. I do get it. And I think it's because a lot of the girls who are attracted to that have an inner lack of self-worth.
I have been told that.
Do you feel like that's you?
I would like to think it's not, but I've been told, I've been to therapy, I've been told that I feel like I don't deserve any better, so that's probably why I go for guys like that.
And whose fault do you think that is? I mean, do you think that it is just years of hearing that we're second class and years of, you're going to hell, and years that this is abomination, and years you shouldn't be, and
Definitely.
years and years and years and years of it?
I mean, when you take it all the time, your whole life, and then, I mean, you don't even when you think you're over and it doesn't bother you anymore, but you're still hearing it, I think it still has an effect on you. So.
And so you recently went to a church where the pastor you were pretty fond of,
Yes.
really kind of came out and was against same-sex marriage, and you were pretty devastated by it.
Yeah, I'd been going there for a couple years, and I liked going there because he never really brought up gay people, especially. I still very rarely ever hear anybody say anything about transgender people, but they, if they have a horrible attitude toward gay people, then I tend to think that they probably feel the same way about trans people as well.
Really, why do you think that?
I just think here in America that they associate it all one and the same. I think in different countries, like I believe it's the Middle East, like they see them as totally different things. But I think here in America, like people pretty much see it as the same thing. Like if you're
Don't you-
being gay and trans is the same thing, and it's really not. But
No, it's really not. And so, and that's my next question to you is, don't you think that pastor, because I watched his entire sermon online, and I don't think he was ever talking to you. I think he was talking to me. But I don't think he was ever talking to you. And what do you think that he would actually say to you?
I really don't know. I even for a second that day thought about because they put a didn't they, Daniel, something about counseling or something, like to you could meet with them and talk to them in person about.
I'm like 10 seconds behind you. He recommended connecting with the church.
Yeah, connect. Yeah. So, I mean, I even thought about it for a second, actually going in, and because I've never really been out as a trans woman there. I just go like I'm just another girl, and I thought about going and talking to him, asking him, about that. But I agree with you. I don't necessarily think he was necessarily talking to me, but I would be willing to bet if he feels that way about gay people, that he probably feels that it's just as wrong to be transgender. I don't really see, I guess I shouldn't speak for him, but I don't really see it being any different. But the bottom line is that he was sitting there talking about something so matter-of-factly, like he knew, what it was like to be gay. He made it very clear that he thought it was a choice. And I just don't see how someone who is heterosexual and has never experienced that can say that with such, be so assured that they're so right, in making that statement. So, I did take offense to it.
And I'm going to tell you, when I watched his sermon, I heard hate and malice.
Oh, definitely.
When I listened to his sermon, I heard judgment. When I watched his sermon, I saw him pointing fingers.
And then he would try to turn it around, and be like, oh, we accept everyone here, because he didn't want to, tick anybody off to where they leave the congregation. So
Correct.
It's like he would go out there so far enough, but then bring it back in, hoping that, he didn't really
offend anyone.
Yes.
And of course, the friend that he loved so much was gay and had AIDS.
Of course. Everybody, anytime you ever hear a pastor have a gay friend, they always
Have AIDS.
and they always die of it too.
Yeah, and they're always
Yes.
dead. Yeah, they always die. And not only die, but they were welcomed into the kingdom of God because
They turned back in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question. Do you feel that at some point in your life, because you're transgendered, do you feel like it was sort of a bridge? And on that bridge, you probably were a gamut of things. Maybe starting out as a gay man, who became a gay transgendered person, that became transgendered, that became a woman.
Definitely.
Yeah. And so when you heard the sermon, when we say it doesn't really apply to you, doesn't it sort of apply to you still?
That's why I still feel like it does apply to me. And there's a lot of things that I heard in him, like when he talked about his friend and how his friend came around and, got help and changed. These are things that, I can definitely relate to. I was made to go to counseling when I was like 18 and 19 years old by my family, and I went into counseling, and the lady, my first meeting with her, I was by myself. She couldn't believe that I wasn't born a girl. And in that session, she sat there, she even told me that I should go through and have the surgery. She doesn't understand how I even function in life, like not having had the surgery done and all this other stuff. Then by the time my parents had gotten a hold of her and I came in with my family, she completely turned on me and made it seem like I had chosen this lifestyle. She couldn't believe I would do this to my mother. It was just so far out there, and I could totally relate to like what he was saying. It just really got under my skin, like to think that you can just go and talk to someone, get on medication, and go through counseling, and you suddenly don't feel the way you feel anymore. I mean, it's wow. And he even compared, like, did you hear the comment that he's made about comparing being gay to being a terrorist, the same
Yeah.
place?
Oh, yeah, I heard them all.
Yeah.
You know, when I was growing up, when I was young, and I'm going to put myself on that same bridge, because when I was young, I was Catholic, being raised by Catholics. My grandmother was extremely devoutly Catholic, which is very strange because she's Jewish. Whatever. And was,
Yeah.
and remembers being Jewish, but is devoutly Catholic. And my parents raised me Catholic, and I was an altar boy at the St. Mary's Catholic Church in Opelika, Alabama. So for a very long time, I believed that being gay was wrong, and that the only way that I could be who I was to be a girl. And so my bridge really was, instead of being a gay man, there was some way that I needed to be a woman or a girl. And so, there was a lot of, we're going to call it praying, for me to wake up as a woman, as a girl, and I could start living as somebody, somebody else. And what would my girl name be? And of course, it was Susan Moriarty. But, my bridge basically started out because of all of this crazy conflict of religion. Started out on how do I live in this world in a right way, and that would be a heterosexual way. So the only way for me to be able to do that was to be a girl.
Right.
And how much easier my life would be if I were a girl. And so my bridge was to manhood,
Yeah.
where your bridge is to womanhood.
Right.
And so where do you think you are on that bridge? Because I'm pretty much a man. I've crossed the bridge.
Yeah, I don't even when I feel like a complete woman. Like I don't even it doesn't even until I talk about it with someone or it's brought up to me. I don't even think about it anymore. It's so second nature now. I don't even think about it anymore.
Will you be going back to that church?
No, I will not.
And so if you could have an opportunity to talk to him, what was his name?
Ed Young.
If you could say something to Pastor Ed Young,
Yeah.
what would you say to him?
I really don't even know. I
think you should figure that out.
yeah.
Because
it's the
I
thing
do
is
think
it
that you will
wasn't-
get an opportunity to say something to someone at some point that will make a difference.
Yeah.
I don't think that hearing the words from me would make that much of a difference to him, because he just sees me as an abomination. But I think when people look at you, they don't see a man. I think that people look at you and see a woman, and see a pretty happy, well-adjusted woman.
Yeah.
And so I think that your words would have an outstanding effect on exactly how he would feel about something. Because really, where do you fit? And has that been part of the problem, is how do you fit?
Well, I struggle with this all the time, and honestly, sometimes I just honestly just try to push it out of my head, and because I've had things ground into my head so hard, like my entire life, like the way I was raised and everything. Like, there's parts of me that still go, oh gosh, what if he is right? I can't help but sometimes go, what if he is right and I'm wrong? And
You and I have had that conversation.
Yes.
And I have said to you on many occasions that if I am wrong, I invite you to my judgment day.
yes,
I
you
do.
have.
I invite you to my judgment day, and I've said it to other people. I invite you to my judgment day. You may come, and if I'm wrong, I'll shake your hand and I'll admit it. And so I want the same respect from
Right.
him, because I think he's wrong.
I do too.
I
I
know
just-
that we have a purpose. I know that we were put here in His image, and the image that you were created in
Yes.
was His image, and His image is transgendered. His image is a woman. His image is what you are, and He created you to be exactly what you are.
It's like I always say, I don't ever, people say, do you think God made a mistake? And I don't ever say I think He made a mistake. I think He did exactly what He was supposed to do. I mean, I think this was the life I was supposed to have, and it is what it is. But it's just hard to hear the pastors saying things like, you know, I really don't know what I would say to him. That's a good thing to think about. And I will definitely.
I think that you will have an opportunity one day. You know, I recently said to someone that, you know, they said, well, I worry about you getting into heaven. And I was like, why? Why do you worry about where I'm going? Well, I really want you to be there. Why? Who's going to be there? Sarah Palin? Because the people that you want me to be with don't want me to be with them now.
Right.
And so why would I want to be with them later? Because my heaven is going to have a